Good morning. It's Tuesday, and it is also Samhain Day. And I know most people celebrate it as Samhain Eve or Halloween, and then it's over, and the next day they move on. But I practice a belief where Samhain Eve is the day where you do the deep reflective rituals and you really connect in. And Samhain Day is where you start your new year. And part of that is going through the beginning stages of the new things that you want to do, creating the new habits. You know, most people on their New Year's, everybody's got, okay, I'm going to make the resolution to do this, that, and the other. And I use Samhain Day, the 1st of November, to start the process of slowly, as I reflectively choose, intentionally, one thing at a time that I'm working on. So today is an example of I got up and my new thing is, it's a new old thing. I had kind of gotten out of the habit of it, is I have a program on my computer called Notion. And I used to do this all the time. I have a template set up where I start with what is my theme for the day, kind of what are my plans for the day, things like that. I do a little bit of journaling. How am I feeling physically? How am I mentally? What's the weather forecast? And, the time is going to change this Sunday, so I put that note in. Do I have any really cool memes or something that I found that I want to add to kind of help me for the day? And I leave this journal kind of up in the background on my computer so I can add memes to it or cool things. So today's theme from Celtic Devotional is, do you appreciate the other side of the argument? Which I was like, that's always one that I have to work on. And we're going to circle back to that. But then I picked my card, and this is a goddess or a wording from the Moi, which are, I believe, New Zealand. Don't shoot me, but correct me in the comments if I have that right. The Moi. And the card name is Guardian of a word I can't say. And I am aware of that. But I love the imagery in this card. I just love the woman with the wings. I have a little bit of a thing with scarabs. So as somebody reminded me the other day, and I thought, I really need to connect to that. And if you think about it, the scarab is really the perfect symbol for this time of year. And I'm working on an idea in my artsy background. But I wrote a little bit about this card. And so I'm going to read it to you. The card is number 10, Guardian of the Divine Feminine. This is a card of empowering your connection to Mother Earth. This is the card to remind you that you are spiritually intimate. You are in a spiritually intimate relationship with her, while here in this realm of Earth's consciousness. Lean into her and trust in her support, even as you learn to voice your own courageous truth. Mother Earth is your great ally. In many traditions around the world, the man or woman are not seen as separate from Earth and nature. We are a part of the world instead. This card is to remind us of the roles we play in the natural world, caretakers of the sacred, to support the dynamic ecosystems, not to destroy and take and exclude. Disconnection from the sacred divine leads to psychological pain and physical disease. Distortions in our days, living in a square box life, drain our creative powers, having us confused, anxious, uncertain, and disconnected from the natural world. It is time to reconnect with the connection of the sacred feminine. The exercise for the day is to recreate and re-earth and reconnect with the earth and plug into Earth's consciousness. Each and every day, spend time outside. Physical touch, if you can. Barefoot. It's cold outside. I'm not going barefoot. touch a tree, sit in the grass, even a winter tree in slumber. A simple prayer starting off with, I love you. Direct it out to Mother Earth and her consciousness. Talk about what feels good to you. Pray. Pray for your connection. And then at the end, say thank you. Thanking her divine consciousness for welcoming your prayers. The more you practice, the better you feel. In the Samhain season, from the celebration of our ancestors on October 31st through November 1st, and then into the season of darkness through solstice, ending at February 1st, when we begin to see the turning of darkness from the light of the childhood joy and turning into the season's awakening and enlightenment. It is time to really connect and reflect in your work. And though it seems counter to get out in the cold and the winter and the rain and the wind and the weather, this is a vital time to make sure you're not getting clogged up inside. The stale air, recycled everything, and getting overly warm. Get your body temperature down so you can burn a few extra calories, and it's also helping you to stay acclimated with the seasons. You're not going to be as cold in the cold if you're outside every day. Lower the temperature in your house a little bit, open the windows every once in a while in the wintertime, get everything opened up. I really liked that this card came up because this card talks about in the book, and that's kind of why I wrote a little bit, is it talks a little bit about being connected, and connecting to the divine is very much one of those things that I'm very passionate about, making sure that you're connected into the earth energy all year long. It matters. And it makes you feel just so much better. So Tuesday morning in my daily devotional book, I awaken my soul at the harp of harmony, chord of grace, chord of gladness, chord of glory. Beautiful my being, awaken my heart, inspire my soul. Chorus of peace, preserve my soul this day of hard winter. Mother of memory, father of dream, I rise up from embrace of sleep to the miracle of the morning. You know, I'm not a morning person. I might have mentioned that once or twice, right? Mornings are really hard for me, but I find that when I'm doing the things I need to do in the morning, I do feel better, and I have less struggle bus trying to get up. So the solar question for the day is, do you appreciate the other side of the argument? And I told you I was going to get back to this. For a long time, when I was a kiddo, I would say things or whatever, and my dad would go, his number one favorite phrase was, the world does not revolve around you. You have to work with the world. And I knew that intellectually. I never ever meant to be harsh or judgy or whatever. But as I got older, I would tell my kids that. I told my adopted kids that, And, I'm in my 40s. I'm really struggling with some things. My coping skills aren't working anymore. I go get a diagnosis of autism, and my world just clicks. It's not because I don't appreciate the other person's argument or the other person's perspective. I'm actually hyper aware of other people's perspectives. But sometimes it's really hard for me to get outside of my world because I get trapped in it. I get trapped in my own perspective. I've gone by this adage for a very long time. The first time I have a bad experience with somebody, I assume they're just having a bad day. The second time I have a bad experience with somebody, I start watching, is this a pattern of behavior with them? Is it me? I really sit and chew on things. And then the third time I have a bad experience with somebody, I really start to recognize that pattern. And I'm still pretty guilty of going a fourth, fifth, or sixth time of a bad experience. But I'm learning that very first experience, if my intuition says do not trust them. I do not trust them. I don't care how many positive experiences after that. They always have a little bit of a check mark in their box that says, I am aware of you. I will take your side of the argument. Absolutely. I will give you the grace and compassion of filling the space in the world as you see fit. I have a full philosophy of life that goes on that. But I will not allow myself to be trapped by your deception, because I listen to my intuition and I pay attention to that. I can see your soul. You're a beautiful soul. Absolutely. I'm not judging you on your soul. I'm not really judging you at all. I'm giving you grace and compassion, but I'm also creating a good boundary for myself that says, I know that this is not healthy, and I know that whatever it is that you're going through is not good for me, and I can't help you until you help yourself. And that is 100% okay. So the theme of the day, are you listening, or what was it? I'm going to read it again. Do you appreciate the other side of the argument? I do. I truly do appreciate where you're coming from. But I can also recognize when wherever it is you're coming from is not good for me right now in this time of my life. That may change. Every relationship grows and stretches and goes back and forth and has all these different experiences. But I will always give you the grace and compassion to fill your space in the world as you see fit. Because that is what we're here to learn to do, is to be compassionate and give people grace and still learn to keep our own boundaries. And that's important. So I feel like, yeah, I'm still working on that. I have not mastered that, but I still work on it, and it is today's theme. So what's going to come up today in my life that I have to really pay attention to that, and paying attention to my card, which is about connecting to the sacred divine. Okay, weaver of life, receiver of death, you teach us time and eternity, the blessings of change. In the silence of our meeting, reveal to me how I am also needed in this change. Your merciful compassion is my guide. Soul friends, teacher of my soul, your revolutionary influence upon me shows the curve of my life's spiral. May I ever be true to the spiritual pathway as it reveals itself each and every day. Help me to meditate upon the question of this day. And the question of this day is, do you appreciate the other side of the argument? I remember all in the realms of light, the dear ones and holy ones whose vocation is a template for my own, whose life ways have opened my own pathway. May they ever be in concord, joy, and felicity. Those that have opened pathways specifically for me, on all who are prevented from gaining an education through poverty, location, sex, or social class, I ask a blessing. May the holy ones bestow upon them an inquiring intelligence and the means to learn and understand. For all who are entering retirement and those who have lost their employment, may the creative renewal of space and time unfold fresh possibilities of life and livelihood. Blessings of the Mother of the Mirror of Mercy, the crystal of revelation, accompany me this day. May I be your true likeness in the wanderings of the world. Blessed be, my friends. Have a beautiful day, and I will see you tomorrow in prayer.